want to start off with this gentleman in this 18-wheeler just east of me. Maybe he only speaks Mandarin. Really interesting. He's got a translator app. Just asked him if I was in his way. I explained to him that I'm using, the Samscab high-speed Wi-Fi. I'm going to do his job today, but the guy didn't get the parts, so I'll go get over and do it tomorrow, or probably tomorrow morning. I do it. Also, besides the guy that only speaks Mandarin, it's hard to imagine somebody driving an 18-wheeler. Of course, he's got a translator on his phone. I've got a translator on my phone. I should have used it with that Russian-speaking guy that, what, a year and a half, 2 years ago, wanted me to buy a 10-ton box truck. I have no idea what I would do with it. I don't know if you can hear me over the guys with the leaf blowers. Next thing I want to cover is Gila River Boatman. If you search here on YouTube, Gila River Boatman, this story will come up. I've covered that a couple days ago. I've covered that 4 or 5 times. I just find it a piece of an interesting piece of Arizona history from the 1940s. Let me give you the story again real quick, and then I'll. Anyway, these guys, they were Kriegsmariners, German sailors. They were captured in battle and assigned to a POW camp here in the East Valley. And one guy had seen a map of the Southwest and knew the Gila River had run through the desert and then made its way to the Colorado, and then it went off to the to the Pacific Ocean. Now these guys had an idea of either asking for political asylum in Mexico. Mexico, I don't know if it's neutral or access country, because I've heard both. I don't know, but anyway, I don't know if because there were a number of Mexican citizens, people born there that were of German origin, and did actually go back and fight on the side of the Nazis. But anyway, they were either going to go to Mexico and ask for asylum, or float down to the Pacific and get rescued by submarine. Now the submarine plan, how big and vast that Pacific Ocean is. Kind of hard to imagine guys, actually being spotted. They wouldn't have a radio or any gear to flag down a submarine, so I don't quite get that. But anyway, now some people might ask if, my name is Godman. That is, some people might consider it German, but it had nothing to do with me. I was born in Phoenix. My father was born in Pueblo, Colorado. My father did serve in the American Army during World War II, and I'll get to that sometime in another video. My mother was born in Indiana, Kokomo, Indiana. I've posted that a few times. That story had nothing to do with me. Just something I find interesting. Last thing I'm going to cover. Now, in the off chance someone does call you in the middle of the night asking for money, pretend to be some relative. Now, you invent people that don't exist. You invent situations that have never occurred. You don't have a sister that's, that's serving on an aircraft carrier somewhere in the Atlantic. You don't have a brother that is stationed with NATO in the Middle East or in Europe somewhere. You don't have those relatives, but you make up these stories and ask if they've heard from them. Now, you can tell by their reaction if these people are legitimate or not. Of course, there are people. Now, there's one story called the Mimic. Now, let me get to that as I'm covering this. Now, I've covered this a number of times. Now, I don't know if it's real or not. You do hear these stories, but you don't know if they're real or if they're just stories that people tell around a campfire late at night to be spooky ghost stories. But anyway, it goes like this. Now, you're camped in the middle of the woods somewhere, in the middle of the night. You get up. Well, you leave your wife and family in their tent. They're sound asleep. You get up to pee. You go out. You walk off in the forest a certain distance, and you hear off in the distance. You hear your wife, calling, "I'm hurt. I'm hurt. I need your help. Come over here and help me. I'm hurt." She said this several times. It's not your wife, but it's her voice. And it's creepy as hell. Now, I don't know if this is real, if it's just some wild story. I don't know. But if you hear it, go back, make sure your wife is all right. And just leave the Mimic alone. Don't go respond to it, because you do periodically hear people go missing in the forest. Now, I have no idea if it's anything to do with that, but I do find it interesting to hear these Mimic stories. Okay, that's, it's creepy in any case. Real or not, it's a creepy story. Okay, love y'all. Let's keep life interesting. Bye-bye.